Is Israel ready to build the third temple? Uncovering the Bible's shocking prophecies. Deep beneath the bustling streets of Jerusalem, ancient stones whisper secrets of a coming cataclysm. A third temple rises, not as a relic of the past, but as the spark that ignites global chaos wars, betrayals, and the fulfillment of prophecies penned millennia ago. But is it fiction? Or is Israel secretly preparing right now? With red heifers imported from across the world, priestly garments woven to biblical specs, and politicians pushing boundaries on the Temple Mount, the signs are screaming at us. If you've ever felt that eerie pull toward end times mysteries, this deep dive will hook you from the start. We'll unpack Bible prophecies word for word, dissect real-world developments that align perfectly, and explore the what-ifs that could reshape humanity. Stay with me, because by the end, you might just see the headlines in a whole new light. Let's dive in, and remember, if this resonates, hit that like button early to keep the algorithm gods happy. Welcome back, prophecy seekers and curious minds alike. If you're new here, this channel is all about bridging ancient scriptures with today's chaos. And today's topic is a doozy. Is Israel truly ready to build the third temple? And what do the Bible's prophecies reveal about it? We're not talking vague theories. We're going granular, from historical foundations to cutting-edge preparations, with enough twists to keep you glued. Why does this matter? Because if these prophecies are unfolding, it could signal the end times as described in the Bible, affecting billions. We'll break it down section by section. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's unravel this biblical enigma. First up, the historical backdrop that sets the stage for everything. The epic history of the temples, from glory to ruin, and why it matters today. To understand if Israel is ready for a third temple, we have to rewind the clock thousands of years. The first temple, constructed by King Solomon around 957 BC, wasn't just a building. It was the dwelling place of God's presence on earth. As described in 1 Kings 6-8, it was a masterpiece, overlaid with gold, filled with the Ark of the Covenant, and dedicated with sacrifices that numbered in the tens of thousands. Imagine the scene: priests in white linen, the Shekinah glory filling the space, and Solomon praying for God's eternal favor. This temple stood as the heart of Jewish identity, a symbol of divine covenant. But glory faded. In 586 BC, the Babylonians, led by Nebuchadnezzar, sacked Jerusalem and destroyed the temple. As prophesied in Jeremiah 52, the Jewish people were exiled, their sacred site reduced to rubble. Fast forward 70 years, and the Second Temple emerges under Zerubbabel in 516 BC, as chronicled in Ezra 3-6. It was modest at first, but Herod the Great expanded it into a wonder of the ancient world around 20 BC. Think massive stone platforms, grand courtyards, and intricate carvings. This is the temple Jesus knew intimately. He taught there, overturned tables in righteous anger, and even prophesied its destruction. Do you see all these things? Truly I tell you, not one stone here will be left on another. Everyone will be thrown down. And destroyed it was, in 70 AD. Roman legions under Titus leveled it, fulfilling Jesus' words to the letter. Flames consumed the structure, and treasures were carted off to Rome. For nearly 2,000 years, the Temple Mount has sat temple-less, overshadowed by Islamic holy sites, like the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa Mosque. This history isn't just trivia. It's the foundation for why a third temple is such a hot-button issue. Jews long for restoration. Muslims see it as sacred Waqf land, and Christians view it through the lens of prophecy. So, is Israel ready to challenge this status quo? The pieces are falling into place faster than you might think. But before we get to the modern prep, let's ask, what if rebuilding triggers a global crisis? Hold that thought. We'll circle back. Current preparations in Israel, red heifers, artifacts, and a surge in readiness. Now, let's shift to the present day. where the buzz about a third temple isn't fringe conspiracy, it's mainstream preparation. At the forefront is the Temple Institute in Jerusalem, founded in 1987. This organization isn't dreaming. They're doing. They've recreated over 60 sacred vessels, including the golden menorah, the high priest's breastplate with its 12 gemstones representing Israel's tribes, and even the musical instruments like the silver trumpets from Numbers 10. Picture this: craftsmen using biblical blueprints to forge these items with modern tech, ensuring every detail matches Torah specifications. But the real game changer? The red heifer. In Numbers 19 to 2-9, the Bible mandates a red heifer without defect or blemish, and that has never been under a yoke, for purification ashes needed before temple rituals. For centuries, no such animal existed, until 2022, when 5 red heifers were flown from Texas to Israel, vetted by rabbis and raised in a secure facility. As of 2024, they're maturing, and if even one passes inspection, it could enable the resumption of sacrifices. Rabbi Chaim Richman of the Temple Institute has said, "This is a historic moment. We're closer than ever." Skeptical? Check the Institute's website. They've got videos of the heifers grazing under watchful eyes. Training is underway too. Descendants of the priestly line are being educated in ancient rituals at places like the Temple Mount Faithful's programs. In 2023, a mock Passover sacrifice was performed near the Mount, drawing crowds and controversy. Politically, figures like National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir have visited the site, advocating for Jewish sovereignty. And financially, donations pour in from global supporters, with blueprints ready via 3D modeling. Israel even has a Sanhedrin, a revived rabbinical court issuing statements on temple matters. Is this readiness? Absolutely. But here's the intrigue. Some Orthodox Jews believe the temple will descend from heaven, while others insist on human effort. What do you think? Divine intervention or human hands? Drop your take in the comments. I read them all. This preparation isn't isolated. It's intertwined with Bible prophecy, which we'll dissect next. Stay tuned. The prophecies get wild. Deep dive into Bible prophecies, Ezekiel's blueprint, and the abomination of desolation. All right, prophecy buffs, this is the meat of it. The Bible doesn't just hint at a third temple. It describes it in stunning detail. Let's start with the Old Testament heavyweight, Ezekiel chapters 40 to 48. Exiled in Babylon, Ezekiel receives a vision of a future temple, measured rod by rod, gates, courts, altars, even chambers for priests. It's massive, larger than previous temples, with a Holy of Holies where God's glory returns. A miraculous river flows from it, healing the Dead Sea and producing fruit trees. Is this literal? Premillennialists say yes, pointing to it as the millennial temple post-tribulation. Dispensationalists like John Walvoord argue it's the third temple before Christ's return. But amillennialists view it symbolically as the church or heavenly reality. Then there's Daniel, the prophecy powerhouse. In Daniel 9:27 we read, "He will confirm a covenant with many for 1/7. In the middle of the 7, he will put an end to sacrifice and offering. And at the temple, he will set up an abomination that causes desolation, until the end that is decreed is poured out on him." This he is widely seen as the Antichrist, implying a functioning temple for him to desecrate. Daniel 12:11 adds a timeline, 1,290 days from the abomination. Jesus references this directly in Matthew 24:15. So when you see standing in the holy place the abomination that causes desolation, spoken of through the prophet Daniel, let the reader understand, then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. It's a warning. The temple's rebuilding precedes unimaginable tribulation. Paul amplifies this in 2 Thessalonians 2-3-4. Don't let anyone deceive you in any way, for that day will not come until the rebellion occurs, and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the man doomed to destruction. He will oppose, and will exalt himself over everything that is called God or is worshipped, so that he sets himself up in God's temple, proclaiming himself to be God. Crystal clear, a physical temple is key. Revelation 11:1-2 seals it. I was given a reed like a measuring rod and was told, "Go and measure the temple of God and the altar with its worshippers, but exclude the outer court. Do not measure it, because it has been given to the Gentiles. They will trample on the holy city for 42 months." This matches Daniel's timelines, suggesting a temple during the tribulation. But debates rage. Historicists say the abomination was fulfilled by Antiochus Epiphanes in 167 BC. Futurists insist on a future third temple. What about Zechariah 6:12-13, prophesying a man whose name is the branch building the temple? Many see this as Messiah. Or Isaiah 2:2-3, where nations stream to the temple in peace. These paint a restored Jerusalem as end times central. Intrigued? We've only scratched the surface. Next, how New Testament ties it to the Antichrist and beyond. New Testament ties. Jesus, Paul, and Revelation's end times roadmap. Building on the Old Testament, the New Testament weaves the third temple into a tapestry of apocalypse. Jesus' Olivet Discourse in Matthew 24, Mark 13, and Luke 21 is prophecy gold. He describes wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes, famines, birth pains leading to the abomination. This isn't abstract. It's tied to a temple where false messiahs deceive. Revelation expands. Chapters 4-19 detail seals, trumpets, bowls, with the temple as a motif. In Revelation 15:5-8, the heavenly temple opens, but earthly echoes suggest a parallel. The two witnesses in Revelation 11 prophesy near the temple for 1,260 days, killed, then resurrected, a sign of resurrection power. If the temple is rebuilt, it fits the 7-year tribulation framework with the Antichrist's reign in the middle. Experts weigh in. Tim LaHaye, co-author of Left Behind, argued, the third temple is essential for prophecy fulfillment. Hal Lindsey in The Late Great Planet Earth links it to modern Israel. But counterviews exist. Preterists like R.C. Sproul claim most prophecies were fulfilled in 70 AD. Which side are you on? Let's keep the momentum. Now, geopolitics. Geopolitical powder keg. Tensions, alliances, and prophetic wars. Israel's readiness isn't just spiritual. It's political dynamite. The Temple Mount is administered by Jordan, but Israeli security oversees it. Recent years saw increased Jewish ascents from 2,000 in 2011 to over 50,000 in 2023, fueling clashes. The 2023 Hamas attacks and Gaza war? Some see them as Psalm 83's confederacy against Israel. Ezekiel 38:39's Gog invasion could follow temple moves. The Abraham Accords normalized ties with UAE, Bahrain. Could they enable a temple deal? Daniel's covenant with many might be a false peace. But opposition is fierce. Palestinians vow resistance. Iran threatens nukes, and global anti-Semitism rises. Economically, Israel's tech boom funds prep, but war could derail it. Counter-arguments and interfaith angles. Is it all hype? Not everyone buys in. Atheists dismiss it as myth. Liberal theologians symbolize the temple as spiritual unity. Islamic prophecy speaks of the Mahdi conquering Jerusalem, with Jesus returning to fight the Dajjal. Hindu or New Age views see it as energy shifts. Conspiracy theories? Some claim Freemasons or Illuminati push it for one world religion. Global implications and personal reflection. If built, sacrifices resume, but Antichrist halts them, triggering Armageddon. Believers see hope in Christ's return. Personally, this challenges us. Are you ready? Watch for signs like one world systems. Conclusion. Wrapping up this epic exploration, Israel appears profoundly ready to build the third temple, with artifacts, Heifers, training, and political will aligning like never before. Bible prophecies from Ezekiel to Revelation scream of its role in end times, from abomination to millennial glory. Yet debates persist, and global tensions could ignite any time. If this stirred you, it's a call to spiritual vigilance. Subscribe, like, and comment your prophecy predictions. Let's discuss. Thanks for sticking through. Until next time, stay alert, for the stones of Jerusalem may soon cry out.